BPod Studios.
Get ready. It's time now for Zolak and Bertrand. Brought to you by BetMGM, the king of sportsbooks on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
I think, honestly, fellas, it's a smart move. Steve Belichick has called plays for the best defense over the last 5 years when you take that in the aggregate. Brian Belichick oversaw Jabril Peppers break out this year. Kyle Duggar the year before. They're grabbing interceptions more than all but two or other three teams in the league since he's been the safeties coach. They're fluent in Patriot, right? Because they're fluent in Belichick. And Gerard's going to keep that foundation. So I think offering them is not necessarily a guarantee of them staying or them keeping their jobs, but it keeps his options open in a way where his tree is super small. Like, Gerard's only been in coaching for 5 years. Why not keep the guys who know the system best and know you best?
It's Andrew Callahan last week talking about the future of Steve Belichick in New England. And both Belichick's sons in New England. Mike Reese had his Sunday piece yesterday. And item number 6 was this. Belichick's sons, Steve Belichick and Brian Belichick, Bill's sons, have been told they've earned the opportunity to remain with the Patriots if they choose to do so. Mayo and Steve have a close friendship. So the projected fit on staff would be as an assistant head coach, senior advisor type. Brian, who came up through scouting and most recently served as safeties coach, was still showing up at Gillette Stadium late this past week.
I think they're here. I really do. The further and further this gets away from Bill being gone here and how the team has talked about both them, like earning the opportunity to come back. But Steve, not even coming back as linebackers or defensive coordinator coach, but potentially as assistant head coach or, chief scout. Like that's up there. And I wonder if that's because, Gerard never got to be DC. Steve never got to be DC. Gerard hurry up and got the chance to be a head coach. Steve's still lingering out there. And I just think the betterment for them is to get away from their dad. I do. And grow. And see what kind of coach you could be.
Well,
really
they have long-term employment prospects, whereas if their dad goes somewhere, he may not be there long. And also, by the way, that's a crowded field Bill Belichick is all of a sudden competing against for that job in Atlanta. That doesn't look like a sure thing.
Doesn't look like a sure thing. I don't know. I think once you had the second interview in that, I think they're working out the pieces, but
they've had second interviews with a lot of people. In fact, they rushed to get Ben Johnson's interview done yesterday. They're not settled on Bill. They would not be doing that if they knew Bill was their guy. So they don't know Bill is their guy.
Well, I think they want Bill. I think the reports I read were they want Bill. Bill's 50-50 on them. Like, they want Bill. Bill's the one that's...
He's the one getting the private jet, the boat, and everything, yeah.
So it's more about if Bill wants the job than if Atlanta wants Bill. The only thing I'll say about Atlanta, though, we were very critical about the Patriots not having a coaching carousel in here and wondering, doing interviews. Atlanta's interviewed everybody. I mean, everyone. College... You name it, offensive, defensive side of the ball, they're bringing everyone
Harbaugh,
in.
Vrabel, they're doing them all. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I at least give them credit for that.
With Pro Football Talk and Florio saying that now there's 2 or 3 more teams really interested in Belichick, one with the current head coach still on board. Who could that be? Buffalo. Are they doing that to try and create a market now? Because as of last week, there was really no market for Bill. It was only Atlanta out there that had him in. And he may have told other teams, no, I'm not coming in. Yeah. There's a lot to be sort of sifted out here.
What about Bill to Buffalo? I mean, they draft. They've had a really good drafts over the last few years.
They have. They got the quarterback. That's big. Home field advantage.
They would probably bring in McDaniels. If Bill was the coach, I think McDaniels would be the offensive coordinator for Josh Allen. Absolutely. And their defense has been good. I mean, I know they
Bill figured that out. Bill will figure that out.
But they have playmakers everywhere. I mean, I saw Von Miller yesterday, still making an impact on that team.
He's a free agent. Shaq Lawson, I think Micah Hyde, all those guys.
And they lost a ton of defensive backs to injury.
Yep. They lost all their linebackers. They were down to 2 linebackers yesterday. Yeah.
And they were still in the, about the battle for the AFC.
I don't know, Jim. We can lose another linebacker here. They're going to be getting safeties off the field.
I heard that yesterday, Beetle. You didn't hear any of that? Oh, I don't know, Jim. This one's...
there's plenty of...
Hurry up and snap it. Hurry up and snap it.
if I were the Chiefs, I'd be worried. I heard that one 5 times.
That's a big one. That's a big one. What the hell has happened to him?
I don't know, man. He's all over the place.
Oh, my God. And Nance's distaste for some of the comments, they're little jabs going to break.
My favorite is when he was like, okay, be quiet, Tony. We're now going to go to Gene's territory because he actually knows the rules. Thank you. There was one of those in there, too.
Yeah, that was the tapping the ball outside.
Yeah, okay, that's enough, Tony. Quiet down. Gene.
Illegal touch. You can't bat the ball out of bounds. Yeah.
Gene.
You should have known that one.
Yeah.
Come on, Tony. $18 million.
I can tell you that the top broadcast on Fox
kicks that's ass.
Kicks CBS's ass in this regard. You
have
say
that for
Jim
the Super
Nance,
Bowl too, dude.
Captures those big moments in a great way, the way he did with wide right, the 2 words.
Yeah.
That Buffalo never wants to hear, or however he phrased it. That great. He captures the moment in a great way. But in terms of wire to wire, the Fox broadcast is miles ahead of CBS these days.
Greg Olson's good, and I years ago, I think we may have been on this show together where I said, well, Brady or Olson, just always give me Brady, and
Olson's pretty good.
I take the L on that one.
You think Romo will wear a tie for the Super Bowl, or you just wear a T-shirt again? Black T-shirt.
Yeah, I think
looks like you. No offense, he looks like you went and called a divisional home playoff game for the number 2 seed, and he dressed like you did.
They were just wearing like winter jackets, both of them. They weren't even dressed up for the game. It's kind of weird.
It was odd, man.
Yeah, wasn't it? Yeah.
Nance is always like.
Not
buttoned
yesterday.
up, man. Well, maybe they saw him and like, hey, dress down.
Just wearing winter jackets.
Do you think they're over it? Like, I wrote a story on 98.5 this
Michael's melted in. Says, I'm done.
No, but everybody, like Dungy went at the Taylor Swift stuff, saying she's disenchanting. Like, he's called her Kelsey.
She's actually brought more NFL viewers in, okay?
I agree with that.
He's an idiot.
That's my whole story. But do you think the broadcast, even Al Michaels isn't even going to be didn't broadcast a playoff game?
Well, he's been bitching about everything from steaks to anything that he could complain about, to having to wear masks out there and win last year.
And they were trolling us about buying Peacock to watch the game.
Oh, yeah.
So I just, maybe like these announcers have some sort of beef with maybe what, instead of the game.
Michaels is the most outspoken. Yeah, Michaels is the most outspoken. I think Nance is starting to get there.
He's just a grumpy old man.
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to.
I still think he's good.
Oh, he's good.
I think he's mailed it in. I think once he went to Amazon,
yeah,
it's not this prime broadcast anymore.
Someone's got to find me.
It is a prime broadcast, only in name only.
I think Romo's mailed it in.
Oh, years ago.
He has mailed it in.
Yeah, for sure. Greg Olson's not mailing it in. Let's go to Mike. He's in the car. What's up, Mike?
Hey, guys. I'm thinking Troy Brown was named offensive coordinator for the Senior Bowl. Do you think that's him auditioning for Patriots offensive coordinator? And I'd like to see them also bring in Sharon Moore, offensive line, offensive coordinator, interim head coach from Michigan for offensive coordinator position. What do you think?
No.
If they're going after anybody, they're going after Harbaugh. They're not doing that, but like they would have done that. I don't think Troy's doing that. I think Troy's just taking advantage of the opportunity he's getting, like the East-West Shrine game last year. He's calling the plays there in it this year. Just trying to go up the ranks there.
I think Troy struggled as the receiver coach this year, but he's still here. I got a name for you. I know a lot of people have thrown out names, and we know that Nick Haley is going to interview today and Robinson tomorrow. T. Martin, you guys might remember him, quarterback at Tennessee. He's the quarterback's coach for Zoe's Baltimore Ravens. And what he's done with that group of quarterbacks, former Tennessee guy, where'd Mayo go to school?
Tennessee.
Just wanted to just throw that out there. I think this guy's ready to be a coordinator in the league. And, what he's maybe learned under Todd Monken this year.
No offense to T. Martin, but I think they got to go bigger. Like they have no coach. They've got basically 4 people back on offense. They've got no receivers. They have one or 2 receivers. They have no tight ends. They don't have a third down back. You got issues at quarterback, tackles. You need somebody to come together. Like it's not like, hey, we kind of got a pretty good offense. We need somebody to come in and fine tune it. You're in the middle of a big rebuild.
Who are they interviewing?
Zach Robinson and Nick Haley are coming in today. Josh is right down the street.
I always wanted Haley. Like I never wanted Bill O'Brien. I'm sure we went over this one before.
It's interesting.
Always wanted Haley. Yeah. Always wanted him. But is that a higher name than some of these others, though?
Zach Robinson was probably be higher. I'd go after Cliff Kingsbury a little bit. Like they said Eberflus is pushing for the other guy.
Yeah, they're going to hire him today.
I thought they were going to do that to get Caleb Williams. Now they might not take Caleb Williams there. That's a sign.
That's an interesting.
So that's another indicator. Like if you jump on Josh, to me, that's like, oh, they're not drafting a guy top 3. They're bringing Mac back as a placeholder, and they're going to probably draft somebody in the second round. I think if Josh is back, that benefits Mac.
I never thought we'd be in the place where we say Cliff Kingsbury would be such a great hire, but it's true. He would.
I'm saying if you're going. If you're saying no more Ron Earhart offense to what we talked about last week,
I'm fully in favor.
And a lot of people feel that way.
Goodbye.
We're going to a collegiate offense, and we're retooling it, and we're bringing this guy in, and he's going to handle that.
Is Zach Robinson
that's a Kingsbury, Zach Robinson type hire.
But is Robinson the Rams quarterback coach bigger than the Ravens quarterback coach?
Oh, without a doubt.
Really?
Yeah, it's so much more valuable having worked under McVay, without a doubt.
I would say yes because of the complexities of the offense and how they do it. Ravens are a lot of 2-3 tight end, and it's condensed because of Lamar's legs, and you have to incorporate that into the package. That's a big thing Wink Martindale did.
And you're not going to find a lot of quarterbacks like Lamar Jackson.
They're sort of running the same stuff Wink Martindale ran. You know, that's.
Well, they're changing the Earhart offense.
Lamar's
they're going
special.
away from it.
Lamar's special.
But that's the thing.
Do we know that?
Well, we assume. From everything I've read,
we don't know that. We don't know that. Don't say that like it's a fact. We don't know it.
I'll pull up the article. Somebody said that the Earhart offense is going to be gone with Gerard Mayo. They're going away from that. I'll pull up the
I'd
article.
like to hear Gerard Mayo say that. I'd like someone to.
I don't think he said in an interview across the street today, but he did say we need.
I'll get it.
I'd like someone to say that they know that. I don't know that anyone does know that. So don't assume that. That's all I'm saying.
I'll get you the article. I read it this
Get me
week.
all the articles you want. I want to hear it from that man himself.
Okay.
I want him to say it publicly because the other day he had an opportunity to say anything about what he thought was a good offense in the NFL in 2024, and he came up with nothing. His answer on that was garbage, and just in the sense that it was without substance. He gave us nothing on what he thought should be an offense in 2024.
And we heard that Elliot Wolf and Matt Grohr are sitting in on these interviews to help him through the process. So.
Lacking substance the other day on that front. Want to hear more on that. And you want to hear more of this show, I'm sure. 617-779-0985 is the telephone number. Why don't we talk more about that? Some of the candidates and who could fit for the Patriots. The Patriots were open to bringing back Bill O'Brien. I have to ask Joe Murray about that. We'll do it coming up next.
Now, sports talk for your workday.
If you want to dream big.
Zolak and Bertrand.
Hey, can I touch that thing? Sure, it's a stanchion. Yeah, go ahead.
On 98.5, the Sports Hub.
Six 617-779-0985. Joe Murray, let me ask you this. Why do you believe those stories, those articles, as you say, that the Patriots will scrap their offense if they were willing to bring back Bill O'Brien?
That was all pander. They were never bringing that guy back. They scored 220 points on offense last year. They were never bringing Bill O'Brien back. The reason why was maybe he was under contract.
Why'd they delay the start of their search then?
Because they wanted to announce Mayo first. Listen, the Ohio State football job is better than the New England Patriots offensive coordinator job. That's a fact. That's true. So he was under contract. They let him figure out if he wanted to come back or not. But the best situation for Bill O'Brien was to go to Ohio State because it's a better job than the New England Patriots. That's a fact.
Right now it is. Under normal circumstances, it should not be considered a better job.
Oh, really?
An NFL offensive coordinator job is better than a college job almost always.
He needs to rehabilitate his career. He needs to go back to college. Now that Michigan's going to be down this year, Ryan Day has a lot to prove. They have the best recruiting program in the country. They brought in Will Howard, one of the top prospects in the transfer portal. They should roll. They should win the national championship, and then he'll get the job of his choice.
You have receivers running wide open there. They said there's two kids that are almost on the same level as Marvin Harrison.
Yeah, Buckpa was there this year. He's coming back.
Another year, getting more experience and all that, and they're going to be good.
And the Big Ten will be, to bring Oregon in and some of these.
So you think
He'll have a better huddle. He'll have a better huddle than he had.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you think that they were willing to fire Bill O'Brien if they needed to?
Absolutely.
I think he chose to do this.
I said that too, but I don't think they wanted him back. I just think he was under contract.
So you think that they would have fired him if he didn't leave on his own? That's what you have
they
to.
would have brought in
fair.
Gerard Mayo's
That's
guy.
Fair. That's fair. Then if you believe that, then that's a fair thing to say. That this is why you believe they're scrapping their offense, and I hope they are, and I hope these reports that they're going to do that are absolutely correct, because they need to. This is the time to do it. It just feels like they were waiting around on Bill O'Brien to see what he was going to do, which to me was the wrong way to go about it.
I always read that O'Brien was the guy that was kind of leaking the stories of Mayo rubbing people the wrong way. I always kind of felt that. That was kind of my narrative on the night show here. But
maybe he's a very loyal Bill Belichick guy. He is. He's loyal to Bill. So I never rule it out.
Maybe he was right.
I never rule it out.
Maybe he was the rat.
You might be onto it. He may have been the rat. He may have been the leak. He may have been.
He's out.
He's gone now. He's gone now. So now there's a opening on the Patriots staff.
Many.
But you're right. To your point, if they were willing to keep him around, does that mean they go away from the Earhart-Perkins offense that they've run all those years?
Nope.
No, not if they're willing to keep him around. And it just speaks to them not having a plan, which seems to be a recurring theme of this offseason with the Patriots. What's your plan? What's the plan here? You've got the most important draft in 3 decades coming up in 90 days-ish. I don't know how many days exactly. Maybe we need
I'd have more respect for them to blow it up and say we're moving in a different direction, we're getting a quarterback, and we're doing things different here.
And I don't need them to tell us what they're doing in that draft, but they can't even tell us who makes the call.
They don't know.
And I'm not sure they know.
They don't.
And that's 3 months away.
Do you think the draft pick comes down to this one? And the reason why I bring up T. Martin is because look at the style of quarterback. Mm-hmm. Mayo hinted towards drafting a position that they need. That could be wide receiver, but if it is quarterback, I don't think Jaden Daniels should go third. I don't. But if they agree with that and that's what they want to do, I think T. Martin's your guy.
I take Harrison, then figure quarterback out.
I'm with you. I'm on your team on that one. Thanks. But I don't think they know what they're doing.
94 days until they make the pick.
You understand workouts start in March. Like, you need some idea of, like, okay, who's our tight ends? Who's our receivers? Yeah. You guys are going to go run routes on your own. Like, we can't have coaches in the bubble, but you guys run that, all right? And then we have our OTAs in May. Jesus, you're drafting you're right into OTAs. Like, you need to nail free agency. You need to have a plan here. And I think that's a big thing. I think the hiring of the coach is going to be an indicator of what they're going to do. Like, if they run Josh back, I don't think they're picking a quarterback at 3.
And you think Caley here would run that typical type of offense?
I think he'd go back. No, I think he'd go back to the stuff he learned under McVay. Yeah, I don't think he runs the old offense. I don't.
Let's grab your calls. Sam is in the car. Wow. Is this one of those calls where all of a sudden Sam is going to appear? We've done enough of that. Thank you, Sam. Mike in Linfield. Hi, Mike.
Morning, fellas. So, what's up, Eddie? So, is it me or is it when I watched the playoffs this weekend? It got back to smash mouth football with all teams. Got to run the football. You got to block up front instead of just airing the ball out. I mean, there's 2 types of offense. One during the season, shred them and spread them and shred them, and then when the playoffs start, let's get physical.
Yeah, I mean, because money's on the line. Single elimination. You start squeezing the clock a little bit. Start staring at the clock. Clock is my friend. We need to bleed clock. You don't bleed clock throwing the ball. Buffalo didn't have much rhythm to what they were doing yesterday. You know? I thought they forced a couple throws there at the end.
The 49ers is a team I think they should run the ball a little bit more. Like, just watching them and Purdy, 3 straight passes, 3 and out. It was frustrating to watch.
They need to play from ahead.
He's a front runner. They are absolute front runners, no doubt about it.
I think he's the type of quarterback that you just can't put on his back and say, bring us back. He's operating at a high level when you're in control of the game.
Could spell trouble against Detroit.
When Baltimore punched him in the mouth at the beginning, he was wide-eyed, deer in the headlights.
But
he never recovered in that game.
Ravens, baby, they kicked his ass.
To that caller's point, though, it is kind of about smash mouth football. Like the Lions can run you down.
Oh, the game changes in the playoffs, no doubt about that. Even when the Patriots won, like they found their identity in Pittsburgh. From Pittsburgh on, became a running team with Burkhead and Michelle.
And maybe the Ravens have it. Like the kid Ricard is a monster. Yeah. He's a local boy, we know that. But the guy's a monster. When he's on the field, even Lamar can be the other option at running the ball as well.
Taylor and Natick. Hi, Taylor.
Hey, boys. How you doing?
Good.
I appreciate you hanging on with me here for the call. Because, Beetle, as you kept talking, I just got more points to why you're crazy to be rooting for KC, my man. I love you, but Zolak, you got it. Let's just start with crab cakes, okay? Crab cakes, lobster rolls, KC barbecue. Come on, man. That's like the fourth best around.
Pretty good.
We got
pretty good.
Some regional pride. Brady legacy at the start. I'd rather see Lamar get his first than, Mahomes get his third. That's pretty selfish, I know. But from there, I'll let you guys take it from here. But I really think regional pride and the food is just, another reason. But listen.
Yes. Okay. I should root for the Ravens because crab cakes are better than KC barbecue. Taylor should call the mayors, man. He's clearly one of those guys that could probably arrange for the mayoral bets. That's your guy right there.
I like when they throw books in, like books from historical books from the city's library. Yeah, those are good ones.
That's a thing?
Yeah, that was a thing last couple of years. Yeah. Oh. Got away from the food. Yeah. Like, ooh. Give me the food, man. I tell you what, Baltimore crab cake's a great crab cake because it's real Maryland blue crab, but I will not criticize Kansas City barbecue because it's phenomenal.
I feel like there's more barbecue options than crab cake options.
There are. You could screw up a crab cake with the too much breading. Too much mayonnaise. Yeah.
Jason on the Cape. What's up, Jason?
Guys, how we doing?
Good.
Good football matches this past weekend. I think the best teams won both games. I think we're going to start talking about Mahomes in the same light as Brady if he pulls this one off this year. And, back to the offensive coordinator position, it's an important piece for the Patriots. And, if they don't get this right, we're going to be stumbling around for the next 3 or 4 years. Agree?
Yeah. You're going to start feeling like a bad franchise. Yep.
Here's my thing. Who's making the decision on what offensive philosophy they're going to go with? Because it's a massive shift from one to the other.
Well, it should be Gerard Mayo.
Does he know enough about offense would be my question.
It's a fair question.
Who's he leaning on for that advice? Are you calling other coaches? But he's coached with Josh around. He's coached with Billy around. He goes up against it in practice. Now, that's not a fair thing because you haven't had the talent there, really, to say, ooh, this is working. Because he's not going to have much say in the offense. I'm sorry, he's not.
Mayo's saying a lot, but yet nothing's in, who is making
I don't know if
decisions?
he can yet, though, Joe. He doesn't know the answers yet.
Basically said that they're going to spend money today.
Well, he did. They have to.
What if they? No, they have to.
He knows that. That means on offense because they don't have talent on offense. You got to bring in talent.
But will they spend money?
He said yes.
It's easy to be a coach and say we're going to spend money. Yeah. So that means he might be making the decision.
I don't know how you don't spend money this year. I don't.
We're bringing in talent 1,000%. We have a lot of cap space and cash. We're ready to burn some cash. Gerard Mayo.
Yeah. Now, what's Kraft say about that?
I don't think he says that if he hasn't been told that.
That's what you say. I'm holding him accountable. The Red Sox said they were going full throttle. How'd that work?
You know what? I think this might be a great time to bring up the Red Sox. I know we had this scheduled for later in the show, but what happened this weekend
full throttle?
Was so disgusting and just so disheartening for Tyler Milliken.
Taylor Milliken. Oh, we can rename him Taylor. He's going to be obsolete this year.
I'm sorry, Milliken. I'm sorry, Tyler. I said Taylor.
For times.
Good times, huh, Milliken?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry for what happened.
Hey, it was cool seeing Pedro and Big Papi. They could at least do that every year, and it's the 20th anniversary of the 04 team.
That's what the Red
So you're going to get that shoved down your throat.
You get the past and the future. You get nothing in the present.
Wow. It's got to be really bad. It's got to feel really bad for you right now. We'll get to that and more of your calls on the way.
Zoe and Beetle are back with more on the Sports Hub.
For me personally, Full Throttle is that I approach every year expecting for us to be competitive and using all the levers at Craig's disposal, and that could be acquiring talent through trades, free agency, building a core, having a stronger pitching staff, having a stronger coaching staff. I mean, we weren't good enough defensively last year. So when I was saying full throttle, and I admitted that it probably wasn't the most artful words, that also applies to my own life. And we are accountable to our fans. We're not happy, as Sam said, for our performance last year, and we expect to be better this year.
Let me summarize what happened at Red Sox winter weekend in Springfield, where Sam Kennedy was once again booed by the fans in attendance. You heard that clip there from Tom Werner.
He does hear the anger, though,
who
Beetle.
walked back his full throttle comments and talked about his own personal.
That's how you live life, baby.
Full throttle. See,
energy. I call it pedal to the metal instead of full throttle. You know, like I'm pedal to the metal, man. Every day.
What does this mean? The next season of the Connors is going to be lit?
But what happened was Sam Kennedy confirmed the Red Sox payroll in 2024 will be lower than what it was in 2023. Tom Werner said the Red Sox are a cornerstone of Fenway Sports Group and that they will not be selling the team. And when asked and pressed why fans should be okay with this direction, why fans should pay some of the highest ticket prices in baseball.
They raised ticket prices after all of the all of the season tickets were re-upped.
Tom Werner said that the team is selling the Fenway experience. That is what the team told people this weekend. They said it out loud. They said that they are selling the Fenway experience.
You should go to more
they are
games,
selling
Malkin.
Tourists on seeing the ballpark and paying the prices to go to the games. That's what they're doing now. They are now fully admitting it. They are reducing their payroll again. The salary floors go up. The Red Sox payroll goes down. The ticket prices go up. And they admit that they are selling you on a trip to the ballpark. That has to qualify. That has to qualify as one of the darkest days in the Red Sox organization in my lifetime.
That's saying something.
It is.
Yeah. All you need to see is that drone footage from last year when the Mets and Dodgers played here. And it was the sea of blue that took over Lansdowne Street. It's like in all the videos. It's been circulating since these comments.
Happened with the Blue Jays,
it's
too.
All blue. All blue. That's what they want. They want people from the outside to come in and buy tickets and go home and say, wow, was that cool to see that old ballpark?
They don't even realize how much they're contradicting themselves. You know,
They
from
don't.
minute to minute, Sam Kennedy telling you, you have my word that we're doing everything possible. We have your word. The luxury tax went up. It is now $237. We found out last year, for all the crap Heim got at the trade deadline, they were not allowed to add any money. They went into the year with a $225 million luxury tax charge. They told him no more money. So when your team was within, 2 games of being in a wild card spot at that time, they cut you off then. Then Tom Werner goes out here and says, hey, that full throttle comment, that's sports radio. That's whoever, the fans taking it. Do you not remember your comments 2 minutes before that, Tom Werner, where you said it was so essential to give Rafael Devers stars, guys with high WAR, to put all that around them, that it wasn't about just the fan experience at Fenway Park. It was about all those other things in building that kind of team up. Brian O'Halloran, who was still in that front office even though he lost the GM role, who said they were planning to make moves to compete for a championship. That's the kind of stuff you were pushing, and Alex Spear has confirmed that as well at this point, telling you that when Bloom, before he got fired, that whole front office believed they were taking a step forward this year. They were planning on spending. And now you're putting even less money out there on the forefront. That's a spit in your face. They're calling you stupid. They think you are dumb.
They cut the payroll. They're not spending. They're reducing their spending. And they may not be done cutting that payroll. There could be more moves to come on that front to continue to make it lower. I mean, Sam Kennedy to me is really the biggest problem that I see this weekend, in that Sam Kennedy went so far as to say that anyone who suggests the Red Sox are not as passionate about winning is a liar.
He used the word liar?
He used the word liar.
Yeah, he got nasty, too, this weekend, I guess, on an interview or two. But
went on his flagship station over there and said, you suggest that we're not as passionate or we don't care about winning as much. I'd say it's inaccurate and you're a liar. That somehow we're the liars. Sam Kennedy is now gaslighting us. Mm-hmm. And it's disgusting because Sam Kennedy's from here, right? Sam Kennedy's from Brookline.
It gets hard when Tom Caron can't
hometown boy. Has worked for the Red Sox for 2 decades, has a very important position with the team.
Said he sees all the social media hate, by the way, Beetle.
And now he's going on the attack on his fan base and on the people that can see with their own 2 eyes what the hell is playing out with that franchise. He's going on the attack. Yeah. That's gross. Tom Werner, I expect that from some corporate, guy like Tom Werner who doesn't truly give a damn about the Boston Red Sox. He doesn't have the Red Sox in his blood. Sam Kennedy does. And so that's where things have gotten really remarkable. What dark times for that franchise.
And today it should have all got buried, right, with everything. I'm glad you brought it up earlier.
What a clown show.
But, it should have got buried today, right? With all the football stuff, the news with the Patriots.
Yeah, you start talking about direction and not having a clue in it. Yeah, then that gets sort of brought back to the forefront. Yeah.
So I loved Danny Ainge years ago. I bring this up, but Ainge told the fan base, it's a rebuilding year. We're going to build with these guys, and everyone accepted it, right? Everyone kind of overrated it. I wish they would come out and do that. I think that would actually be a good PR move.
It would be like rebuilding year number 4. What were you talking about?
That's the biggest problem out of all this. Tom Werner said he spoke with the front office, right? This was his whole thing. We thought if we improved our defense, we are 9 or 10 wins better. You're an 87 to 88 win team. That's what Tom Werner's saying. So why wouldn't you invest in that team? What's your reasoning? You're contradicting yourself with those statements. That's not a team that needs to wait 2 years for Teal, Roman, all these guys, Marcelo Meyer to all step up. It's none of that. None of their words add up. They just keep saying crap over and over and expect you to eat it because they know other fans are going to show up.
Jared Carrabis summed up their offseason in one tweet saying Red Sox ownership fired Heimblum, indicating a change in direction, then told you they were going, quote, full throttle this offseason, didn't sign or trade for a single frontline pitcher, and then told you they were cutting payroll, and I'd like to add to his tweet, and selling you a Fenway experience all in 4 months' time. Incredible. They did all of that in a 4-month window. That is impressive. That is so bad that I start to wonder if they are committing suicide. That is suicide for your franchise. What are you doing? Why are we supposed to pay attention to this team anymore? Why are they supposed to be given the time of day on anything?
The ballpark.
We don't do that. I've been to the ballpark. Have you been to the ballpark?
Been to the ballpark.
Been there? You've been there, Joe?
Been in bad seats, been in good seats.
Have you had a Fenway experience?
I don't fit in the seats.
I learned from you to keep my cup.
I've had the Fenway. Yeah, well, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's the Fenway. And then you're really living at Fenway, man. And then you're living.
Good times.
It's good to know a guy.
Joe Murray's a guy who would know a guy who would tell you to keep your cup.
Yeah.
Okay. But I don't even know what else to say about it.
Beetle, they're giving up, and there's still guys on the market. Jordan Montgomery and Blake Snell.
I'm
not a big Blake Snell guy. Those guys are sitting out there, and you're already saying, sorry, too bad. It's over. We're not going to wait to watch it play out.
They're quitting.
Milliken's not, though.
They're raising the white flag.
I think they're quitting. They've just been given the constraints.
No, but
sell it. Operate at that number.
Then. Tell us it. Sell the fan base that they're rebuild. Give me Roman Anthony,
they have nothing
Marcelo
to sell.
Meyer.
They have nothing to sell.
Beetle, that's all they have.
But they have nothing to sell.
That's all they have.
But you have more than that.
They have money. Go and spend money. That's how you would sell it.
That's why. You act like you don't have a young core at the big league level. I watched Tristan Casas and Brian Bayo and Jaron Duran, Cutter Crawford, all these guys start to come into their own and be key pieces. You need to supplement them. If you put all this pressure on these young kids to be those guys, you're asking for failure. The smartest teams put great veterans around them, and you see them grow. Those 3 prospects, I like prospects as much as anyone. You think they're going to be a star the day they show up here? Do you not remember Xander Bogaerts taking a year to become the player who he eventually was? That's why 2018 was so great. It was all those youngsters finally becoming, those guys in their prime and taking that step forward. You're asking those 3 to carry the torch for you immediately, hoping they come up by September? That's ridiculous. It's just poor roster building.
Ta-da!
Again, Sam Kennedy even brought up, he even had the balls to bring up that he grew up less than a mile from Fenway Park in this answer.
Who gives an F?
I do.
Do you?
Because, that's what makes him different from the other guys involved.
But him working here for 20
now
years
he's
should be
trying
the
to
difference.
use it against you. Not just against the person talking to him in the interview. It's against his own fan base, against his own people. The people of Boston, the people with the Red Sox in their blood, their lifelong interest of rooting for the Red Sox. He said, if you think for 1 second that we aren't passionate, committed, and dedicated to the Boston Red Sox, you're wrong, you're a liar, and I'll correct you on it because it's total BS. On the same day, the same weekend, they're telling you they're selling you a Fenway experience. And don't forget the discounted student tickets. And oh, by the way, we're reducing the payroll again after we told you we were going full throttle and after we fired our GM.
Yeah. You do.
And where are the liars? Wait, where are all the liars?
You're a liar. He called you a liar.
Gaslighting fraud, you. That's gross. You should be ashamed of yourself. That's disgusting. And your franchise will pay some price for this. I don't know what it's going to be because you will sell tickets to all those frauds from New York and Toronto and whatever other team hasn't been here to Boston in a while. But your ballpark should be empty in April. That's for sure.
It'll be cold.
And if you give credit to Larry Lucchino for everything he did, right, being that guy who would push John Henry and make them make moves, that's what Sam Kennedy's supposed to be. He's supposed to be the one. If Craig Breslow and Chaim Bloom can't convince him, you're supposed to help in that. Clearly, he's not.
So we've done it. We've done the Red Sox segment. I don't know that there will be many more in the coming months because I don't know what there is to talk about with this team. They're not interesting.
First day pitchers and catchers report.
They don't register like they once did. They're not going to have good ratings. People are not locked in on them anymore. Bruins and Celtics will be in the playoffs again. I don't know when we'll get back to you, Red Sox. I don't know. But you have nobody to blame but yourself.
NFL draft. Yeah. A lot of draft talk coming.
I'm sorry, Milliken. Sorry, Maz. Good luck with the baseball hour.
Well, May the 4th be with you is coming.
We're going to have a couple weeks, post July 4th, right before training camp, that we'll lock in on them. But
Sellers at the deadline.
I would say we should consider moving on from the baseball hour.
Masks.
I would suggest that, but it just beats the pants off the actual pregame show so badly that it's like our fun little thing.
You can't take it
every
off.
Spring.
You can't take it off.
It just beats the bag out of it. It's sad. It's a sad commentary.
It's a ratings maker.
You're a liar.
I'm the liar. You're right. We're all the liars.
You're a liar.
Yeah, the Red Sox called everybody a liar this weekend. They're not the liars. The fan base and the people who follow the team, they're the liars. Great job. Way to go, Sam. I'm proud. Yeah, thank you. All right, more to come on Zolak and Bertrand.
This is the show that keeps Boston sports fans working.
Yeah, I'm a sexual freak.
Zolak and Bertrand.
That's stuff we do.
On the Sports Hub.
Six 617-779-0985. Let's grab some of your calls. Thanks for hanging on. Nick is in Providence. What's up, Nick?
Hey, Mark. How's it going today? I just wanted to say for you guys, Fridays have been my favorite since Hardy's departure. I think RJ is a great fit. I think somebody to help reel in and kind of keep Zoe on the rail is
you think he does that?
a good thing. And
you think he does
helps,
that?
I think
in what way?
Definitely more than McCone.
In what
definitely
way?
More than
McCone.
I'd say
Beat
that.
the hell out of McCone.
I mean, he's doormat.
But no, there's a couple things that I just wanted to get on real quick. First of all, the Red Sox.
Oh, and Joe Murray's here today.
What's
what
up,
are you
bro?
going to say
How
about
you
it?
Hi, Joe. Yeah, I listen to you at night. You got a good spot at night. You don't need to move from that.
Oh, yeah?
How do you know?
I listen to all you guys. Come on now. But anyways, just on the Red Sox, I couldn't agree more. Gross. Like I've been saying for a year now, Sam Kennedy's been making those decisions, and it's just confirmation that he is just the face behind all of it, and it is disgusting. I'm just not even interested in the team anymore, and I love this freaking team. But for the Patriots, it occurred to me this weekend that the path forward might be the Lions' path. There was a graphic that they showed yesterday that they have the most drafted Pro Bowlers since 2021. Amon-Ra St. Brown, Penei Sewell, Aiden Hutchinson, and Laporta. Guy to catch the ball, guy to protect the quarterback, guy to get after the quarterback, and then a tight end who's versatile. They went with a young, brash coach in Campbell. They got a cast-off guy like Goff. I don't know who the comparison to Goff is. You have the young, brash coach. You have the opportunity to go get the young receiver, build it that way, and you see where you are in 2 or 3 years. They have a good model. They have a good culture. It started with the young guys. Do it their way. Why not?
Yeah, I've heard the comparisons to Houston and that, and I get it all. But Detroit might be the most feasible. 3 years ago, they were 3-13-1, and now they're in it. But when you suck that long, you get a lot of high draft picks. And the Jets have been that way, and that's kind of why the Jets got hot there. And like, why do you think the Jets are a contender? They built their whole defensive front seven with first-round picks. Eventually, that comes together. And they are good picks they had. Well, they nailed their draft.
Great line, too. And Ragnow was a great pick. And Pats ran on them. And then Sewell, because that was controversial, right? They went with the linemen over the skill players at the time.
And Goff's not a turd. Like, McVay got him going. When he was under Jeff Fisher, it didn't look good. And then McVay helped him. But then he signed sort of a cast-off. They needed somebody better. And they got Stafford. At that time, it's better.
Is there a cast-off that could be available right now? Is Justin Fields that cast-off?
Could be Justin Fields. He could go to Atlanta.
And
I would
Goff
say maybe a guy like
Fields.
Kyler Murray.
Yep, Kyler Murray's
Kyler Murray would be a good example of that. Number one pick.
A guy with a big contract, too.
Big money, though. Big money. Big contract.
Yeah, I'm not paying him.
Yeah, no, I was going to say.
No, but I'm saying, who do you try? I'm trying to think of former number one picks that didn't work out.
That could move. And that was a hell of a trade, really, when you look at it. Stafford, Goff, it probably worked out.
It's a risky trade.
Yeah, it worked out for both franchises.
Yeah. Ray in Worcester. Hey, Ray.
Hey, guys. How you doing today?
Good.
I'm a long-time listener, first-time calling. Zoe, love your take on all of the games.
Thank you.
If I might make a quick comment about the Red Sox, I'm out on the Boston Red Sox. I love going to the Worcester Red Sox. If you haven't been, you should try it. It's awesome.
Zoe's a big fan favorite out there, Ray.
I love it.
Red, he threw out the first pitch out there. Zoe's a big fan favorite out there.
I've been there.
Throughout the opening pitch last year.
That's right. Yeah, I remember that now. Yeah, it's awesome. And then Friday nights you get fireworks.
Yeah, you can see the train go by.
Okay. Now my take on you, Mark. I feel like you're a traitor. Tom Brady is our great quarterback for years, and if you're rooting for Mahomes, that's not good. And also, Mahomes will never be Brady because Brady was humble, took less money, never was about him. It was always about the team. Mahomes is kind of cocky, and for that reason, I don't like him, and I'll never be a fan of him.
Okay, Ray.
I think it's more of your disdain for Baltimore and not your love for Kansas City.
Yeah, I like Kansas City, and I like Mahomes. I've always said that. I've always maintained
I like
that.
Mahomes a lot.
But I was going to root for whoever it was against Baltimore in this game. If it were Buffalo, I'd be the biggest Buffalo Bills fan this week. Josh Allen, McDermott, Diggs, I'd be rooting for them all. I'm rooting against Baltimore. I know.
If it was Baltimore, I'd root for Baltimore. I would root for Buffalo.
And Ray, never lose sight of Deflategate and the kind of stain that was put on Tom Brady and the fight that ensued and the 4-game suspension. And just ask